Welcome the Mayor of Orange County, Jerry Demings.
Thank you, Pastor. I did promise the pastor that I would not preach up here this morning, though, in his pulpit. But I'm honored to be here, and in many ways, I'm sad to be here, to have to deal with the circumstances that we're confronted with as a community, as a state. I want to share with you a bit about my perspective as we all come together to deal with the opioid crisis that we have. My experience really is one both from a professional perspective as well as from a personal perspective. Going back to 1972, I saw it close and personal. I had an older brother who died in 1999. He was 50 years old, so he was born in 1949. And as a young man, he found himself addicted to heroin in the late 60s. In 1972, he and his girlfriend, they had a child. His girlfriend was a heroin abuser. And that child was born addicted to heroin. And so I saw this infant, this newborn struggling with withdrawal. And so I saw it, I'll never forget what that looked like. I would never forget the experience. My mother raised that child because his mother never was capable of raising him. My brother struggled on and off over the years with addiction, with opioids, with cocaine, and that's why he didn't live a long life, like many drug abusers. But then, for nearly 4 decades, I was a law enforcement officer here in Orange County as a police officer, worked narcotics, got to see people struggle, made a lot of arrests of individuals who were drug dealers, saw people who, because of their addiction, have and live broken lives. And so I've spent now the better part of my career trying to do something about it. We saw a resurgence of opioid challenges in this community going back to 2014. At that time, at the Orange County Sheriff's Office, when I was the sheriff, we were responding to overdose calls for service 2 to 3 times per day. Sometimes 2 to 3 times a week, someone died. So here we are today as a community. We're honored to have our governor here who recognizes the challenge that we have as a state. And so I believe that when we combine with the faith community, with those who are in the treatment community, it's probably a much better approach to reducing dependency on drugs than purely a law enforcement response. And so I'm happy to see that we're coming together, but at the same time, sad because yet again, we in our society have to deal with the challenges. In the last year, the Orange County Fire Rescue Department, from roughly July of 2018 to June of 2019, responded 2,300 times and administered naloxone, the antidote, for individuals who found themselves in an overdose crisis. It continues today, but I worked with former Mayor Jacobs in 2015, and we created a heroin overdose task force here in Orange County to proactively look at some of the things that we needed to do as a community. And that continues today, where now every law enforcement officer here in our region carries naloxone or Narcan on that person. And many times, each week, each day, they continue, in addition to our EMS personnel, administering Narcan. So we can do better, and I know that we will do better. Coupled with the faith community, I know Dr. Swanson is absolutely laser focused on this issue with many of our community leaders, and so I remain optimistic that we will reduce these numbers. So I conclude by saying, God bless you all. God bless these great United States of America.